scrolling through the news today and I came across this article from the Globe that something very suspicious is going on in the House of Commons. As the article is titled, House of Commons grinds to a halt over allegations of liberal corruption. It's not like I've been making videos about this for the past couple of days. And I've had some comments where people have been saying, oh, the liberals are so great. Oh my God, they're like doing so well for Canada. They are the most uncorrupt people. But I have to say that it's not only me who's saying this, it's the news, it's the big corporate media that's also saying this as well. So if you want a bit of hint of credibility to satisfy your um, doubt, it's right here, right there. They call it liberal corruption. Now let's go into the article and see what else the Globe has to, the global news has to say. So they say that the government has been unable to put any of its own business before the House of Commons for a full week, and the Conservatives on Thursday said that that's the result of liberal corruption. House Leader Andrew Scheer said that Conservative House Leader Andrew Scheer said that the governing party would rather see the House bogged down in a debate than rather than produce documents related to misspent government dollars in a program his party has dubbed the Green Slush Fund. And I've been hearing about this Green Slush Fund, me personally. I haven't looked too much into it yet, guys, but now that I've heard of it, and now that it's kind of triggered my curiosity, I'm going to find out more about this and make another video soon. But just to go over what this article has to say, it also states that the Global News also states that House Speaker Greg Fergus, the Liberal House leader, who is the Speaker of the House, ruled last Thursday that the government did not comply with an order from the House to provide documents related to a now defunct foundation responsible for rolling out hundreds of millions of federal dollars for green technology projects. Suspicious. I'd say definitely that's pretty weird, guys. Okay? Being kind of kind here to the liberals that there's something fishy going on, though. The House has been seized with a debate on the issue ever since, and Scheer said it will stay that way until the government agrees to hand over the documents to police. They are willing to have Parliament ground to a halt rather than hand over this information to the RCMP for a potential criminal investigation, Scheer said in an interview Thursday. This, along with so many other issues and scandals and ethics crisis, um, it's just, I don't know, guys. It just keeps on getting worse and worse for these liberals, and we keep on letting them get away with it. You know, we had the SNC-Lavalin case, we had Justin Trudeau's Aga Khan trips back in the beginning, we had countless ethics violations, and also now countless scandals, such as the We Charity scandal during COVID, and now this green slush funds. Like, guys, can't we see that these guys in the Liberal Party are not ethical? They are completely immoral and they don't care about being held accountable. And okay, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now it's like fool me 10 times and there's still nothing going on. So like what's going on here, guys? Like we got to hold these guys accountable. I mean, that's wow. The RCMP told MPs this summer they likely would not be able to use documents as part of an investigation. But Scheer said they should have access to all information before they decide. Of course, the Liberals then, I'm going to paraphrase here, the Liberals have claimed that the production of documents to be handed over to the RCMP blurs line between Parliament and the judiciary. And they say the Conservatives are to blame for dysfunction. Typical Liberals never take responsibility, always blame someone else. Of course, then the garbage Karina Geld, whatever her name is, says that, you know, the Conservatives are trying to muck up Parliament, whatever. Who cares what she says? She has no credibility anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So now they said Andrew Scheer said the charter exists to protect people from the government. It is not there to protect the government from accountability of the people. Now that is some strong words right there. And I couldn't say it better myself that is absolutely true. The judiciary is supposed to hold the government accountable when the government makes illegal moves and decisions. It's not there so that they can just punish the Canadian people and then leave the government free handed. No, they're supposed to be holding all institutions and people in Canada accountable. And you can't use the excuse that the parliamentarians are supposed to be protected from the judiciary. That is completely false and completely ignorant of what the charter and what the separation of institutions of judiciary, parliamentary are actually. So, a lot of stupid people in the Liberal Party here over other cases where this kind of request was made to the House. In 2009, the House also was ordered to disclose documents of unredacted documents in the regards to Canada's role in the torture of Afghan detainees, and Stephen Harper prorogued Parliament back then. So it's a touchy issue for sure for the guys in power. I mean, we saw Stephen Harper do it. He prorogued Parliament. Maybe we'll see Justin Trudeau do it to avoid accountability as well. Let's see. Um, in this case, the Liberal government abolished Sustainable Development Technology Canada after the Auditor General released a scathing report about the organization's management last spring. Sounds like there might be some embezzlement going on or something like that. I'm just assuming. Totally. Keep watching this story, guys. It's the Auditor report also found 90 cases where conflict of interest policies were violated. A month after the ethics commissioner concluded that the former chair of the foundation failed to recuse herself from decisions that benefited organizations to which she had ties to. Typical politician using their position to more than usually benefit themselves, okay? I know it always happens no matter where, and it's wrong that politicians use their position of power to help themselves out. Look, it can be down to the very small bits like staying in power to get a pension. We know who I'm talking about here. The NDP, Jagmeet. But in this case, it's pretty blatant. You're helping corporations and groups that you're associated with and giving them the benefit of taxpayer funded money so that it's not actually for the purpose of the project that is at hand. Rather, it's the purpose of helping your friends out. That's corruption. That is blatant. You can't ignore it and you can't avoid that. Further, the article also brings into light the ethics questions surrounding Mark Carney's appointment. Have also asked Canada's lobbying commissioner to investigate whether Justin Trudeau had violated the ethics rules to make Carney a Liberal advisor. As you know, Mark Carney was made a special advisor on the economy recently at the caucus retreat of Justin Trudeau in Nanaimo, BC. But, however, many are questioning in the government how much influence does Mark Carney, an unelected official, have? I mean, some are calling him even a de facto finance minister because of how incompetent and unqualified Chrystia Freeland is, who has practical experience in finance or accounting or actually, business. She's just some like half-ass journalist. I have a little bit of a cut in the video here, but I wanted to go into the experiences of Chrystia Freeland. And this will bring a lot of, answers to some questions people might have related to her finance position and the decisions she has made in that position. So, Freeland completed her bachelor's degree at Harvard University, studying Russian history and literature before earning a master's in Slavonic studies from the University of Oxford. She was a journalist and all that, blah, blah, blah. She born in Peace River, Alberta. Her father, Donald Freeland, was a farmer and lawyer and member of the Liberal Party. And her Ukrainian mother was also a lawyer who ran for the New Democratic Party. Her parental grandmother was a Scottish war bride. Freeland's parents divorced when she was 9 years old, though she continued to live with both of them. However, in my opinion, it looks like Mrs. Freeland's Ukrainian background has really influenced a lot of her educational and career-based background too. As I told you guys, she studied at Harvard in Russian history and literature, and then studied a master's in Slavonic studies. After reading this Wikipedia article, I have a little bit of a perspective to indulge in. And that is that Chrystia Freeland really, really values her Ukrainian background. I think even more so than her Canadian background. Why do I say this? She did study Slavic studies as a master's at Oxford. Her degree in university was about Russian literature, and she worked for a large amount of her career in Ukraine. Right? In my opinion, she was also the one who brought that Ukrainian war veteran, who was then found out to be a Nazi veteran, into the parliament. And I've also heard rumors, I have to confirm this, that Chrystia Freeland's grandfather was a former writer for Nazi papers. You see what I'm trying to get at here? She seems to have a sort of what you can call it, prejudicial viewpoint of Russians and anything associated with the Russians, i.e., mostly Soviet power. Being a Ukrainian, she probably heard stories from her nuts, and that passed down towards her through her mother. Now, this is all just a suggestion here, but this is a little weird, guys. This is the person who also happens to be giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. So, you let me know down in the comments below about what you think about this, what I just said about Freeland, and what you think about the corruption and the scandals that are going on in the parliament. Let me know, guys, and thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.